Everything's so planned. Yep, that's how it goes. That's how it is.
And that's why, I forgot. I also coach pala.
Yes, you know.
I also coach my son's basketball team because he said that it's my last year. And he's been playing in this division for this is his third year. And they haven't won a championship. They've been there, but they just finished strong. So I said, this year, I'm going to volunteer. I'm going to be coaching your team. So now I'm coaching his basketball team. And it's in a way, like my homeschooling with my daughter, that also becomes our bonding moment. Parang the goal is to hit two birds with one stone every single time. So like with my daughter, our homeschooling is our bonding moment. For my son naman, even our training during the Ignite Athletics, which happens in the weekends, and even in these practices, those are also our like bonding moments, you know. But we also date, so para naman it's not all work and but yeah, it's just a lot of discipline, a lot of discipline.
Time management.
Time management is number one. Very, very important. Time management and creating that good balance. You'll realize along the way if one aspect of your life is tipping over, and then you tend to focus on another thing because one way or the other, may magre-reklamo.
Yeah.
So that's my barometer. Pag may nagre-reklamo na a little or parang bad, alam ko na. So I have to recalibrate and then balance again. And it's a constant, balancing. Constant balancing. It's not like a permanent schedule. My calendar, I have like a permanent schedule. Like, this day I'm going to focus on Defiant Gentlemen. This day I'm going to focus on homeschooling. On this day, and yet as you continue to do it, it changes. It evolves. It's very organic in terms of its evolution. So until you finally find a recipe that you stick to, but that also you expect that as time progresses, it's also going to change.
Do you have days where you're just like, I want for myself, I want to live with my wife?
Of course, definitely. Like a lot. Well, no, I make sure that at least, like this year I haven't done it, but as much as possible, I find time, if kaya, twice a year, I find a weekend wherein it's just me. Like I become a hermit.
Yeah.
I separate myself from the whole world and then just chill. Like a lot of worship happening during that time, a lot of reading, a lot of submerging in the Word of God, and just trying to fill my tank. Kasi it's hard to give and give and give, and then you're running on empty. It's at some point you're gonna break, and it's gonna spill over to something else, or you're gonna draw energy or affection or love from things that you're not supposed to. So the best source is always God. So for me, that's why you have to find that time. And that daily. Ako nga, if there's one thing that I can give advice to everyone, I learned it and it changed the way I perceive my day.
Yeah.
Somebody I read this, I was actually, I don't know if I saw it in a TED Talk. And the guy was saying like, how much time do you actually spend in a car? And it actually made sense because sabi ko, lalo na in the Philippines. Parang how much time do you actually spend on traveling? And sabi niya, why don't, instead of listening to music, why don't you listen to audiobooks? Or listen to, so sabi niya parang you're educating yourself. Because I wasn't formally educated with an MBA degree and all that, and my master's is in education. But you know what I did was two things. I said I don't have to pay for an MBA degree. Yes, on paper probably you need, but you know what I did? I have 3 business mentors that I talk to regularly. One is in the States, one is a premier professor in AIM, and then I have another good mentor also. So tatlo sila. I have 3 mentors that help me in terms of business.
Yeah.
I have another mentor in terms of family and that I talk to every time I have. So finding mentors, that's free education. 2, audiobooks and podcasts are free education also. So those are the things that I tap on. I don't need to spend money, but during my dead moments, I still am learning.
Yeah.
So it's continuous evolution and just bettering yourself every single time. Because you owe it to the people that depend on you. Like here in Defiant Gentlemen, my staff will depend on me. So I owe it to them to improve every single time. Yeah.
Okay, so having said all that, all that, how do you still, how are you able to divide yourself? And like, ang dami nangyayari sa life mo, pero when you do things, I'm sure you do it 100%.
Yeah.
How
Do
are
I?
you? Yes, I would think so, because I mean, Fine Gentleman is doing great. Upper Room is perfect.
Yeah.
No, you know, I guess like the question behind this is when like a lot of people kasi get burnt out or get discouraged or like they're just like I give up, ayoko na kasi ang hirap.
I think it's the how kasi is what we talked about a while ago.
Yeah.
Like, get mentors and all that. That's the how.
Yeah.
I think the one that will hold it all together is the why. Why are you doing it? Because no matter how burnt out you are, if the why is so clear to you, then
So important.
that's always gonna keep it all together. So for me, like all these businesses that I'm doing, the why for me is really so that my kids. I've got 3 businesses that I want to stick to and really do really well with, and
Grow,
that's
yeah.
Ignite, and then the Fine Gentleman, and the homeschooling business. Those 3 things are also within the realm of my element, meaning it's not me outside,
It's your strength.
It's my strength.
Yeah.
It's something that I know inside out.
You're very familiar with.
So it's not an extra effort to go about it. Of course, there are other aspects of running a business. It's not being an entrepreneur is not the easiest thing in the world. Like there's financial concerns, human resources, a lot of headache. But because the important stuff I have, meaning the know-how and all that, it's easier. But all these 3 businesses match all 3 of my kids. Meaning, my why is I want, when the time is right, to give these 3 businesses to my kids so that this will be their grind project and they can follow their passion. That they will have a passion project like me. My passion is Upper Room. And so parang, if they have the grind project, that's what they're gonna sustain the business that I've pinamana ko sa kanila. But they can at the same time, if one of my kids want to be a photographer or a ballerina or what have you, painter, baker, they can still do that and follow their passion. But at the same time, they have the grind project. So yun yung why ko for the businesses that I've been. But my why for Upper Room, of course, obviously, it's really easy. I find that there has to be a certain safe place for people to come. Doesn't matter how far you are from God or how near you are, but just to feel very safe. And I needed that. I needed that so many times in my life. And I know the church is there. Your local church is there. That's the role that they play. But sometimes we find it daunting and intimidating at times, to be there. And we feel like that's the ultimate step. Like when I'm actually ready, that's when I'll come to church. But not really. And so we need, parang we're that middle ground.
Yeah.
That we provide.
Like meeting halfway.
That's right. So just creating that environment for people to come as they are. And that has been my why. That and believe me, there are a lot of days like I'm like, oh, Lord,
why?
I'm so tired, But then when I think of those things, and if I don't do this, then what's gonna happen? So I'm not saying. And one more thing, probably I think that works a lot is surround yourself with the right people that will support you in your dream and your passion. So like with the Fine Gentleman, I've been surrounded by the right people.
Yeah.
So right team, same with Ignite, same with this homeschooling. I'm developing partners that will work with me closely. And in Upper Room, I've got the strongest staff
Thank
ever.
you very much.
Like we're 50 people strong and very passionate people that don't get paid for anything but are equally as passionate.
Great production team, great worship team. Thank you, Lord.
But it is, just surrounding your people because you can never do it on your own.
Yeah.
No matter how good you are, you never. So.
I think the last question would be, how would you know if you're with the right people, or like how do you specifically choose? Did you choose that?
No, to be honest, of course, it's all gonna be based on like one thing that I've realized is that the end of the day, blood is thicker than water. Meaning, that's the number one lesson. Like family over business. So. That means if you don't want those 2 things to clash, then don't marry both
Yeah.
the business. So parang you'd rather get partners that you can really, like my mentor said, getting into a partnership with someone, especially in business, it's like getting married with someone, getting into bed with the person, and so you have to be able to trust this person, you have to be in sync and all that. So. And it hasn't been the perfect solution for me. We've even in the Fine Gentlemen, we've shuffled already a couple of partners and continue to work on that. Even with other things, even with my Ignite, coaches also come and go until we find the right, combination for coaches that will actually share the same passion and belief. And I believe that in everything, even in Upper Room. You can never. I think you can never say that there is a perfect formula. Like you read so many articles saying this is how you find the right person. And it's different. It's different when you're actually there and you're dealing with real people who evolve also the same way you evolve. So, for me, the biggest answer to that problem and that question is grace. Meaning, still prayer. At the end of the day, you pray for these people, and it's God who can actually make those choices.
Yeah.
So you pray for the Lord to lead you to the right people, and if ever you are already working with these people, then pray and ask for the Lord to strengthen the bond, strengthen whatever it is that you have. Yeah.
Last advice. Like, what would you like to share?
Don't
with...
be like me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I read an article which I felt like, that actually makes sense.
May time ka pa mag-read ah.
The books are important. Like guys, books, reading, it's important. And I was reading an article that said you shouldn't turn your passion into your business.
Wow.
And it made sense because, sabi like a baker who loves baking, and a mom who's let's say a stay-home mom loves baking, and a lot of people compliments her for her baking and says it's so good, and then she decides, I'm gonna turn this into a business because everyone's saying
You're
turn
good
it into
at
a
it,
business, yeah. But see, being an entrepreneur and getting into business is not just baking, It involves finance, it involves resources, it involves marketing and sales, which probably you're not as good as in baking, and you end up worrying about all these other things that you're not good at and forgetting to bake.
Your passion.
To bake. And so now you're giving up your passion to bake because you're handling all these other things that are related to running a business. So somebody said that. I mean, it works for others, but it made sense to me, But like with me, kasi it's not really a passion, but more of it's second nature. Like the Fine Gentlemen, second nature. Ignite is second nature. Even the homeschooling is second nature. Like I think I'm a natural born teacher / educator / coach. It comes out naturally. So it's different if it's passion. It's different if it's natural. So you have to distinguish both. So when you actually do, then I think that's when you start following whatever it is that.
Is it difficult to figure it out?
I think no. I think something that's natural to you is something that does not cause you stress at any point. Like there's peace. Like for example, like Bea, she does other things, but photography is her passion or videography is her passion, and it comes naturally. Like you don't get stressed doing it.
You really like it.
You get anxiety at times because it's second nature.
Yeah.
Kumbaga, it's naturally in you. So that's something that you want to work in. Para minus headache. So it's not really hard to figure out. I think the real battle is what you think you want compared to what should be yours. You get the difference. Like parang a lot of people look at everything else out there and say, oh, I want to be like that also. And then that's what causes them anxiety because it's not natural to them. But because they want to be like that, then they're forcing themselves to fit in those shoes. That's not really something that's natural to them. So like for you, you naturally are like a host. Like you find it like, siguro even without the camera,
it's like
this conversation is still going to be this
Yeah.
way. So you know that it's something natural. So you don't get anxiety at times facing people or talking to people or talking to the camera because it's natural. And I think that's not hard to figure out. What's hard to reconcile is your battle within you. Na, oh, I want to be like that, and you want to aspire, and you gotta like knock some sense into your head and say, hey, you gotta stop it. And you know it's causing more stress than actually good for you. So that's more of your barometer. Yeah.
That's why it's important to love yourself.
That's true. Love God and automatically it's gonna pour out. Definitely love you. Like, how can you not love yourself if you're God's creation? Diba?
Right.
At the end of the day, yun eh. Diba? You're created in the image and likeness of God. And if that's the truth, and if that's the absolute truth, then
You see yourself
yeah,
differently.
exactly. And so it's not even hard to love yourself. Diba? Kung si God nga, minahal tayo ng
Ganito.
as we are.
Hindi pa naliligon.
Diba? So, so, yeah, definitely.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Last words.
Follow Millennial Morena. She's got really good content, and I think if there's anything, it's so relatable. I think you're so relatable for people to just and I appreciate what you're doing, like going out there and really like coming here.
Yeah.
And these are real stories, kasi it's
Yeah.
nothing fake, and people can actually pick up at
Resonate
least.
with it.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Thank you so much. Ang katawa na.
Nawindang.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned a thing or two from Juan Banal.
Or three.
Or three, or four,
five.
or unlimited stuff. If you have any more questions, please do comment them down below, and then I'll just hit
Good
them.
comments, no
Yes.
haters.
Bawal haters dito. Joke. Anyway, thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to
Like.
What was my closing? There. Please do give this a wait. Don't forget to satisfy your cravings and keep the good vibes flowing. Bye. So there we have it, guys. I hope you learned a thing or two, or three, or four, like what he said earlier. From Juan Banal. If you have any more questions, please do let us know. Just leave them in the comment section below. The point of this series is to really share or like learn about the journey of someone who has figured out what their role is in life and their purpose. And I'm pretty sure a lot of us are still figuring it out. So that's why we're doing this series. And even myself, I'm still figuring it out, and I'm learning a lot from these wonderful individuals, and I'm sharing it with you guys because it's important that you learn from each other. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Don't forget to satisfy cravings and keep the good vibes going. Bye!